Yes. Finally, finally, the Wicked Witch of the West is put down several seats. They finally had the balls. They finally had the courage of their convictions. And maybe Joy Taylor saw this coming because I was asking, I'm like, why is this bitch still cocky about this? I'm like, this bitch is so like just she's just doubling down on her hatred for dudes, hatred for man, the average man, still talking ish, still talking cash money ish. And she's still, I'm like, are they finally? I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, yeah. Oh, so Silent Sniper, he said, I hate that someone was fired, but she deserved it. Nah, I'm celebrating this, man. This is a celebration for her specifically. I've done a lot of, I'll say this specific week in my personal life, I've done a lot of things where I've never done, but this so I'm a little bit out of character these past couple weeks, but this is gonna be one of those things, man. These is just that kind of month. I'm doing uncharacteristic things. And besides, she has her YouTube channel. She has her what's her YouTube channel called? The what's that what's that thing called? Podcast, ba-da-da. What's it called? Yeah, the Two Personal Podcast. She already got that, right? So she'll be all right. You know what I mean? I mean, she has, 17. Oh, she has 17,500 subscribers. So she should still be fine per se. Now it's not going to be like it's not no, luxury type, things. Let me show you her channel real quick. Let me show you her channel. It's not OD over the top money that she's going to be making for now, but she brought that upon herself. So she has 17,500 subscribers. But it's just interesting. She's been just doubling down. I've seen her on this podcast, doubling down on her just her mindset, her mentality, right? Just doubling down on evil, right? Doubling down on the Breakfast Club and these and these mainstream platforms, these TV channels that did not want to touch this lawsuit because of specifically because of Joy Taylor. Because trust me, if it was just Charlie Dixon and Skip Bayless, but I'll say this, especially if if there was one more man involved in the lawsuit, specifically a black man, they would be having this lawsuit all over the TV. Like, say if it was instead of Joy Taylor, it was just a black man part of the lawsuit instead of a black woman. They would have this lawsuit all over TV because you would have the white dude, you'd have the two white dudes and the black dude as a cherry on top. Nobody wanted to touch the lawsuit on TV. It's because of us, really, the internet and Twitter and Instagram and the channels on YouTube. That's the only reason why she got smoke. Nobody on TV wanted to touch it. This lawsuit. Nobody wanted to touch it. The only person that came close was Cam Newton. Only person that came close on live TV of even hinting that this lawsuit even existed was Cam Newton. That's the only person. He hinted at it in defense of Mark Andrews not responding to the media after the playoff loss where he had those fumbles and those drops, right? Mark Andrews, the tight end for the Ravens, he didn't want to talk to the media after a loss, and people were about to start complaining about that. Cam Newton came to his defense and he said, "Look, I want y'all to keep that same energy because there's certain lawsuits that we're not even allowed to talk about. And when Cam Newton said that, you know what Stephen A. Smith whole ass said? You know what his whole ass said? I don't know what you're talking about. This ninja, I was like, wow. He said, what are you referring to, Cam Newton? I have no idea what you are talking about. I swear to God, that's what Stephen A. Smith did. On my mama, he said that shit. I was like, I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, everybody, you gonna act like nobody knows about this lawsuit with Joy Taylor in it? Because I'm talking, if there was only men involved in that lawsuit with the hairstylist, or if she just came out and said, "Oh, Fox Sports just has a toxic masculinity. This is a toxic culture of this," and there was no woman, and Joy Taylor was not part of the lawsuit. You would have CNN covering it. You would have MSNBC, ABC, ESPN, because Fox Sports is the rival network. Come on, this was a layup for these companies to jump on Fox Sports neck, but they did not do it, specifically because really the lawsuit was centered around Joy Taylor. She was one of the main culprits in that lawsuit. And the hairstylist was very specific. She said it was Charlie Dixon and Skip Bayless that was foul. Everybody else was fine. It was just these two individuals. That's what happened. And the way Joy Taylor was moving, I think, first of all, in media, I think that's how a lot, I believe that's how most women are moving in sports media in general. This is why they did not want to cover that story. But shout out to Silent Sniper. By the way, I saw something. I just saw something on Twitter. They did a top 100 list with, I think top 100 list. I didn't save it though. Off of Bleacher Report. Top 100. Let's see if it pops up. Yep. So Bleacher Report did oh Lord have mercy. So right now, got my Twitter. I gotta be careful when I open up Twitter, by the way, because y'all know why. Y'all know exactly why. If you open up Twitter, you're liable to see some OnlyFans promotion, some adult content just pop up right on your feed if you search up certain things on your search bar. So how about this here? Before we do some background on the Joy Taylor situation, how about this top 100 list? Do you guys agree with it? So Bleacher Report dropped the top 100 NBA players of all time. So in the top 10, they had Steph, Wilt. So Steph number 10, Wilt 9, Larry Bird 8, Tim Duncan 7, 6 Shaq, Bill Russell 5, Magic Johnson 4, Kareem 3, LeBron 2, MJ number 1. Now, tell me if you agree or disagree. Now, I'm looking at some notable exemptions from the top 10 list. I see Kobe is not in the list on the top 10. He's in the top 20. They have him at 11. They have Steph over Kobe, by the way. They got Steph number 10. They got Kobe 11. If you guys can see from there. So they kind of tripping on that. So Silent Sniper said AI should have been top 10 at least for the culture. Low-key, I agree with you, but that's a whole nother, that's a whole nother story, because when it comes to just pound for pound, when it comes to, pound for pound, he's done, for his size, what he was able to do it's really impossible when you think about it, but that's a whole other issue. I have Silent Sniper, just to let you know. I don't necessarily care where people rank certain people. I only have players in the NBA that I like personally, like who I respect. And those players are this: Allen Iverson, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, and Isaiah Thomas from the Detroit Pistons from the 80s. Everybody else, they could, everybody else, they could kick rocks. And I'll say this: I don't think Shaq gets the credit that he deserves for really. He should really be in more GOAT discussions, but but that's just my opinion on that, right? So Silent Sniper said, well, AI should have been top 20, top 15, and Kobe top 10. Yeah, I think Kobe should definitely be top 10. Really top 5, but that's just me. Let me see. I got a lightning storm going on where I'm at. Oh Lord. Okay, so Silent Sniper said AI, Braun, Jordan, Shaq. It's not a bad list. I can't complain about that. I think Shaq should be top 5. Shaq. So who they got in their top 5 again? Let me see that. They got I might have to open the link to the full story. You might have to open up the link. Let me see if they got the pictures and all that stuff, because I can barely read. Let me see. Yeah, they got the pictures, but we'll go back to the Twitter list. We'll go back to the Twitter list. We'll go back to the Twitter list. It's seeing my pause. I'm seeing my computer won't freeze up on that. But anyways, yeah. I'll just say this. When it comes to the top 5, I don't think Bill Russell should be there. No disrespect. I just think it should be Shaq. Shaq should be in there. Kareem should be in there. But the thing is, I think Kobe's better than LeBron. But I don't mind LeBron being in people's top 5 lists, if that makes sense, right? So I think Kobe's a better basketball player than LeBron, but I don't like if when people put LeBron in their top 5, I don't trip over that. I'm one of those guys, like I'm like, as long as LeBron is top 10, that should be fine, right? So, but I don't know who I take out of the top 5. So obviously MJ won. Because Magic I think is better than Braun. So let me see: MJ, Magic, Shaq, Kareem. Because I know people that have it. I know people that they have their list like MJ, LeBron, then Kobe, and then basically everybody else, which I don't mind as well. Because really, when you think about the standout players of the past from the 1980s, right? Well, technically 1990s, but I'll say this: from the how about this? I'll say this: from the 1990s through now, we've had 3 like just standout players. Technically 4 if you add Shaq in, but 3 players that have really defined the NBA, which is MJ, Kobe, and LeBron. So this is why I don't really mind when people have their top 3 lists. They'll literally have a top 5 list, and the first 3 will come up will be like MJ, Kobe, and Bron, or MJ, LeBron, then Kobe. That's what I've seen a lot of times. So I don't really mind that, because these are the 3 players that have defined basketball for the past 3 decades now, 4 decades technically, right? So I don't mind that list. I can't complain about that list. Can't complain about that. Also, here's the thing. Since we are covering Joy Taylor, right? Since we are covering Joy Taylor today, I I didn't even want to do the Joy Taylor live stream. I wanted to do the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant getting exposed by Paul Pierce. I wanted to do that today, but that's gonna have to wait. I'm probably gonna have to do that tomorrow or Wednesday, but that's gonna have to wait. Let me see. I missed something. And sorry if I can't, because I can't see the live chats. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I was about to say my thing's tripping on me. Okay, so never mind. I can see my live chats now. Good. My StreamYard was tripping on me for a little bit. But anyways, he said not Kobe over LeBron. Like I'll say this. Let me tell you what, because I used to have LeBron over Kobe, but this is why. He said, I do wish Bron had Kobe's heart. I'll say this. People should be lucky that LeBron didn't have that cold-bloodedness that like an Allen Iverson had, right? A Kobe, a Michael Jordan. If you had a LeBron with a Kobe mindset, that is basically the best athlete ever. You're talking about potentially the best. I'm talking about you're talking about the best athlete ever. If you had like LeBron with Kobe's mentality, wow, that would be a LeBron with Kobe's mentality would be the undisputed GOAT of basketball. Not even it wouldn't even be close. It would not even be close. You know. But let me see this. Because he said I let me. Because I used to have LeBron over Kobe, but this is what happened. I remember I was talking soccer with people that don't really watch soccer. So soccer's my first sport, right? So I remember talking to some people and I had to explain them because I played the game, because these people were talking about stats and all this stuff. They were trying to tell me why Neymar at the time was better than Ronaldinho. And I was like, nah, you don't understand. I know Neymar has the stats and but I'm like, the impact of the game, the way people play the game, even though it was a shorter prime that Ronaldinho had, but you don't understand what he meant to the game, especially to real ballers, right? But this is something that once I started hearing people start putting, today's players just over the past players without proper context, I started to understand why basketball aficionados, the basketball purists, they put Kobe over Bron. And then I had to have a honest question about myself. I had to really be honest about myself. If I had one game, you want prime Kobe or prime LeBron? Right? So that's where I had to be honest about myself in that. So this was in 2018. I had to have that honest discussion. Right. So I started to finally understand where they were coming from on that. But like I said, I don't even argue with that, because when it really comes to comparisons, I don't even try to do all of that. Look, MJ was the GOAT of his era. Kobe was one of the GOATs of his era. LeBron's one of the GOATs of his era. That's all that's all I do. I don't even argue about who's really better. That's barbershop talk, right? Thomas said, I can't stand any of these shows. Don't really care about Joy Taylor. They will probably replace them with 3 similar terrible shows. Oh yeah, so Joy Taylor was, I think, involved in 2 of those 3 shows that they just canceled, if I'm not mistaken, or I think in all 3, right? But with them now canceling all 3 shows, this has confirmed her exit from FS1. But I'm so happy. Shout out to Long Live the King. Shout out to Long Live the King. He said, damn, breaking news. Yep. I was like, hold up. I got to do a live stream on. No, I'm not. I'm not going to say I've been praying for this, but she should have been gone. With what I saw in that lawsuit, what I read to you guys in that lawsuit, for the life of me, I don't know why I was literally just shocked for months now that she still has a job at FS1. First of all, she's terrible at it. If you actually because I watched the shows. I watched the shows that she would be on, because I watched a lot of the FS1 shows in general. She couldn't come up with no original thoughts, no original takes. They used to let her go last, right? So usually you let the star of the show or the final taker, they give their final take, right? But when they would let her go last, she all she would do was repeat what the athletes have already said. She had no, like, she was not good at her job. And I'm not, it's not me being biased. I swear she was not good at her job. She was always better off as just the moderator. And even then, that position is very replaceable. Thomas said, typical Fox Sports show, 26 minutes on Aaron Rodgers, 20 minutes on the Cowboys, 20 minutes on LeBron. Yeah, facts. That's facts. I'll say this though. The one show I do like on FS1 is First Things First. I do like First Things First. And is mainly because of Kevin Wildes. Kevin Wildes, he's the moderator for First Things First. He's probably my favorite sports person on TV. I'm not gonna lie. Kevin Wildes is this dude is hilarious. And Nick Wright, even though I have my problems with Nick Wright, outside, I'm like, just forget the LeBron takes. If you take out the LeBron stuff, right? Nick Wright is actually he's entertaining. I actually like Nick Wright. As long as he's not talking about LeBron, he's fine. He's like, I actually like Nick Wright because he doesn't pick on the usual suspects. Like, he didn't like the his claim to fame, especially when it comes to talking about the NFL. He didn't go after the easy targets like Odell Beckham Jr., right? Who else in the NFL be getting a hard time? Basically, any of the media pinatas that the media likes to beat up, like Cam Newton, right? Lamar he's been on Lamar Jackson's neck lately, but all the media pinatas that get the beat, he doesn't do that, particularly with the NFL. I've always respected him for doing that, right? So Andre Townsend said, did she get fired from Speak for Yourself? Well, yeah, it's just Speak for Yourself got canceled. So that's the show that Emmanuel Acho had. That was the one that Emmanuel Acho and Joy Taylor were like co-stars of it. But then when the lawsuit had came out, she left the show. And then now Speak for Your, I think, what's it? Isn't, let me see. Oh no, I think Speak for Yourself is her show. Let me see. Is the Emmanuel, because Emmanuel Acho had another show. I'm forgetting their names. Hold on for a sec. Let me not confuse you. But basically all those shows that you listed, Speak for Yourself got canceled. Let me see. Speak for Yourself. So what happened? Okay, so this is what happened. For Speak for Yourself, Emmanuel Acho was on that show originally with Joy Taylor, right? Then they gave Emmanuel Acho his separate show, which I forgot what I'm blanking on that show's name. But Joy Taylor was the main. That was her show. But originally it was Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho on that show at the same time, right? So that's what it is. But yeah, Speak for Yourself, it got replaced. So Speak for Yourself has been officially canceled from FS1. Right? Silent Sniper said, what was the buyout amount? Well, I will say this, because remember in the lawsuit, what was supposed to happen was if Charlie Dixon, if he was still there, because remember, all these shows are there that Joy Taylor was on. It was there because of Charlie Dixon. So the plan was, in Joy Taylor's mind, if Joy Taylor was ever going to be released or fired like the other female talent, she was going to put a Me Too case on him. So whatever you say, you talk about the buyout amount. Originally, the buyout amount is really whatever Joy Taylor's going to ask for. But since Charlie Dixon's not there, there's no There's no buyout clause. Praise be to the Most High for that. Anyway, she was there for looks, of course. And then on top of that, when you look at the lawsuit, she literally slept her way to every position that she had, even the moderator job, her first position at FS1. She was sleeping with Charlie Dixon, and Charlie Dixon offered her the moderator job. And Skip Bayless was opposed to this because he knew what Joy Taylor was doing. I always wondered why Skip Bayless never really had a respect for Joy Taylor, but it's because he knew what Joy Taylor was. So Thomas said Nick Wright is okay. He is thoughtful, at least. That's what I do like about Nick. He is very, even though if I disagree with him, he has a different, he is thoughtful in his takes are is vastly different than most. So that's and he is entertaining. So I give him credit for that. Long Live the King said, not gonna lie, Joy was moving like she had a set of brass cajon. Yeah, facts. I'm sitting there. I was literally like, yo, Joy Taylor, she got more balls than most of these dudes on TV. The way she was moving post the lawsuit, straight up telling other, or she'll do like interviews with other people. Oh, nah, you can't bring this up. Nope. And then still going on with her rhetoric, her feminist rhetoric, the feminist centric rhetoric, still calling dudes lame, still dissing the average dude. I was like, yo, this bitch really moving like she. I'm like, this bitch moving like she untouchable. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, and by the way, I do owe Taylor Rooks an apology, because I believe I had Taylor Rooks wrong. I think I was wrong to put her in the same breath as, Kayla Nicole, Joy Taylor, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. But I'll say this with Taylor Rooks, she needs to be careful herself. She needs to pick whatever athlete that she wants to pick. She needs to do that thing now before she ends up with that same hater mentality as Joy Taylor. She, you know what I mean? And, let me see. Silent Sniper said, yeah, she loved to diss the average dude. And, like, I'm talking about, she was moving like, I was like, anybody that's been on, like, you guys seen my stuff, right? When I'm talking about Joy Taylor's, like, she was, and you've been seeing anybody that's been paying attention to social media, seeing on Twitter, the stuff she was saying on Paul Pierce podcast, on the Breakfast Club, on her own personal podcast. I'm like, wow, this girl is she's bold. Wow. Yeah, Silent Sniper said Taylor nice, but she hunting too. Yeah, of course. That's why, like, I don't think Taylor Rooks, she's not evil in terms of she doesn't hate men the way that Joy Taylor hates men, right? And usually feminists or women that are that like evil like that, they usually have a very similar background. They have a very similar type of background. When they were young, when they were teenagers, they were dating criminals and drug dealers when they were like 15, 16, went to college, got ran through, and really just these are women that refuse to date regular men. They get hurt by outlandish characters in the street, and they take out that hatred on the rest of society. And usually the loudest feminists that are like the most, evil and direct, and the heavy hitters, they tend to have a background where they slept their way to the top. Right? Shout out to Panda Man checking in. He says she deserves nothing. Good thing she's gone. May she suffer indefinitely. Let's see how her podcast, plays out. Let's see. She has been going viral, for the past couple months. Oh, she did apparently. So remember, I showed you she did a show with Kev on Stage, right? I mean, no, sorry, not Kev on Stage. 19 Keys, right? So now it's interesting. She brought on Kev on Stage. Now people don't remember Kev on Stage. This was one of the dudes that was dissing Kevin Samuels' death like heavy. Like he was one of the main dudes that got. He's always well. Kev on Stage has always been popular, but he gained a lot more notoriety by dissing Kevin Samuels' death, which was very low class of Kev on Stage, the so-called, Christian comedian. But I digress. But I digress. I digress. So maybe I gotta watch this. Maybe I should watch this because Joy Taylor. Well, first of all, Joy Taylor brought on 19 Keys for I think because Joy Taylor likes 19 Keys. That's just my opinion. But and 19 Keys is what you called. He's not a simp. Like 19 Keys is not. He's a pro black, but he's not a simp. He's what you call a classic pro black, right? Kev on Stage though is a simp. That he is, right? No, he is married. He is married, but I would like to see this interaction. Joy Taylor and Kev on Stage expose church hypocrisy. I would like to see what they both have to say about this because Joy Taylor was the one that was saying that religion is, useless and she doesn't trust religious men. And Kev on Stage is religious. He's a religious comic, but at the same time, Joy Taylor and Kev on Stage still have the same brain when it comes to feminist propaganda, them hating on the average man, etc. So that will be an interesting type of interaction. By the way, if you hear anything in the background, I swear we got a lightning storm. It's a lightning storm we got where I'm at. Let me see. Silent Sniper said, "Yeah, you're right. She don't seem to hate men like Joy did. Joy was and by Silent Sniper, he's talking about Taylor Rooks. He says Joy was talking all that, but lost job over expired sugar daddy. But yeah, most of the loudest feminists that you see, they have sugar daddies, dog. That's what they do. And then when you look at their past, it's always the same stuff. Let me give you guys an example. Let me give you well, not necessarily an example, but let me show you what my channel's about. Let me show you what my channel's about. Whoa, Lauren, what the fuck was this bitch name? I'm gonna have to go through my history a little bit. So sorry, I'm gonna be snitching on myself with my YouTube history. I gotta search up something real quick. Oh, I don't have share tab on. I gotta show you something real quick. I just saw this today, right? There is a woman that's kind of going viral on Instagram. Her name is Lauren Perez, right? I'm gonna show you my watch history a little bit. This girl right here, she's going viral, Lauren Perez, right? So she's going viral on the soft white, right? She went viral off of Instagram a little bit because she said, "Oh, I had a drug dealer boyfriend when I was a teenager, and I was underage, he was overage." And usually when I see stories like that, I'm like, "Stop it, ma'am, you're not the victim." But when you look at her story is like when you talk about this woman's background story is exactly why my channel was created, really. When you look at this video, and I might end up doing, not obviously I'm not going to do it today. When you look at this 40-minute video with Lauren Perez, whoever this woman is, right, on the Soft White Underbelly channel, you look at her background story, it's the same thing. Single, raised by a single mom. She had a stepfather that was touching on her. This is literally all the stuff that we talk about, right? Single mom raised, having all these people around, their kids, and then they having all these blended families that is now basically the norm. And we wonder why women like this make the decisions that they make in life. We wonder why you have bitches that turn as soon as they turn 18, they got OnlyFans. But then you look at their background, you look at how they grew up. It's the same thing. Something happened, single mom raised, you put them around all these different babysitters, etc. Same with the boys as well. Same with the boys as well. But these are the things that happen. And then we wonder why you have women like this choosing the lifestyle that they end up becoming porn of adult film stars, OF stars. You have bitches, they turn 18. They start a OF. And then they'll say, "Man, I've been wanting to do this for the last 4 years." I'm like, "Wait, so you were 14 years old and you wanted to?" Wow. Okay. So these are the things that we wanted to, because really the root cause of her story, of it being a tragedy as it is because her mom, her with her mom, when she had her, ran off her father. Right? But like I said in the comments in that video, I said we're not going to fix the problem because nobody's ever going to hold single moms responsible, right? And then we want to talk about, and then let me show you something. I'm gonna play it a little bit. Just the beginning of her story. Let me play a little bit of it.
California.
Tell me about your family growing up. You had mom and dad?
I had my mom. She was a single mom. And my dad, he left pretty early on when I was about like 2, maybe younger, honestly, probably a year old.
This is the usual story. But when now remember, like there was a video that went viral, right? Where you had the dad was at home. It was a black couple. The dad was at home with the baby. The mom was there, but the mom was tripping out because she was pregnant again. And she was just sitting there. She was literally tripping out, talking about, "I don't want this kid. I barely want the first kid." And she was losing her mind off of being pregnant again, and admitting to the dad that I didn't even want the first kid. I don't even want the second one. And the dad recorded her, and it was people in the comments mad at the dad for recording her. But I'm like, you guys don't get it. A lot of the times when you see, oh, the dad is not there in the early ages or the early beginning parts of the baby development, is because you'll have the mom trip out and the dads have no idea what to do, especially if it's a young father that's like in his early 20s, late teens. They see the mom trip out and they don't know what to do. The mom says something to him and then he's like, "Yo, I'm out." And the stuff that woman was saying, it was just completely overlooked. Completely overlooked. I'm like, did you hear what the mom just said about them? Right? So we're not going to fix this problem. Nobody, because no matter who it is, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, Asian, whatever, nobody's going to hold single moms responsible. They're never going to do it. So this is why bother? Nobody really wants to actually fix this problem, right? Nobody wants to fix the problem. Let me see. Jeremy Dorset. He said, "Joy Taylor is never going to be hired by anyone, and there's no way she's going back to South Florida because most of the sports talk radio stations are gone except for WQAM." That's true. Well, sports talk radio is kind of dead in general, right? Long Live the King said, "It is interesting to see when a dude is a simp like Kev on stage, but his simping has no benefit for himself. Usually dudes simp for self-benefit." Well, like I said, Kev on stage, he'll get his wake-up call when he gets that divorce, right? It's going to happen. and I'm not wishing it, but it's like it's the same thing with Steve Crowder. Remember, he was talking crazy about the MGTOWs and all that, and literally a year later, he's going through what he's going through, and now you got to have people like me having to defend Crowder because I know what's happening to him. His wife, I'm blanking on her name. She's lying on him and keeping all these recordings and all this. I'm like, guys like that, they don't know that they're being set up, right? They don't get it until it happens to them. Then they want to start doing things, right? Pan the Man says R. Kelly and Ike Turner were molested too, but no one cares about them. Well, people don't care about men getting raped. that's just I'm talking about men and women. Nobody cares about men getting raped or touched. In fact, we had there is a Instagram Instagram star, a star on Instagram that got famous literally for. There's an Instagram star. His name is Haha Davis. He literally got famous for joking about men getting raped in jail.
God, and I'm on hard. God, on hard. God, on hard. Get naked before I come over there and take it. Bro, what is wrong with you? That's the sound of me all up in your ass. You get some type of freak or something? God, I'm for the guard, but I'm still on hard. God.
This dude literally got famous for joking about this stuff. Got up to all, because I remember his following before those those guards videos, right? Before that, he wasn't close to 1 million, right? So it is what it is. Oh man, hold on. But yeah, good. That is a good shout out with R. Kelly and Ike Turner. But and by the way, that Ike Turner's legacy, this is some bull. Ike Turner technically is the king of rock and roll, but they decided to tarnish his legacy by using Tina. And Tina should have known better, because really the relationship that Ike and Tina had, they both had a physical relationship with each other. There are couples like this. I don't know how many times I gotta say this, but it's just like, I'm talking about to the normies, where I'm like, Ike Turner and Tina, they had a physical relationship. It wasn't just this one-sided. Ike Turner was and really it's because of that movie that came out, right? The movie, What's Love Got to Do with It? And it just showed like Ike Turner, like they had Ike Turner wilding in that movie. Okay, but yes, R. Kelly and Ike Turner, yes, they were molested. And if the way we kind of sweep that under the rug when it comes to young boys, and then when we see certain dysfunction of those boys when they become men, we just dismiss. Oh, him, because you have girls now going on TikTok saying, I can't believe that my ex was talking about he lost his virginity when he was 13 to his 19-year-old babysitter. This is molestation, right? But they don't really want to, and there's a lot of girls they're figuring this stuff out, especially once they start going out with a lot of these dudes, right? Long Live the King said, crazy thing is Jason Taylor comes across as the most humble type, decent person, but his sister is on straight demon time. Well, like I said, they have, because Joy Taylor, she's just evil, bro. She's evil, right? Joy Taylor, she just comes across as the rebellious type for no reason. Like, she has no reason to be rebellious, but she just is. She's just one of those girls, like especially when it comes to women growing up or girls growing up, they're going to rebel. at some point they're going to rebel in a hard way. So it's just a matter of how are you going to react when they come back to you, right? If you have a sister or daughter, it's just that's why I always said it always comes down to you need to hope that the mom is not a hoe. People always say, "Oh, the dad's got to be there." Yeah, I agree, but it's got to be the dad's got to be there, and then the mom cannot be a 304 or a former 304, or how this. You can't have a mom under like cutting off the legs of the father behind the father's back. You can't have that. If you have that, you got no control. Panda Man said, "Nah, she ain't no victim," which is true. So he's talking about the girl here. But it's interesting. Her story is a lot like a lot of the S workers. Raising a single mom, had a stepfather that was touching on her. Right now, when it comes to her talking about her having a drug dealer boyfriend that was over age and she was in middle school or junior high, yeah, I can't really see her as a victim then, but she is a victim in terms of what happened to her when she was a kid. Because when she said when her stepfather was doing what he was doing, she was 5. This is why I always like, when I say 13, I'm being safe because unfortunately, when it comes to Black and Latino families, when you got girls in there being raised by all types of dudes, being around all types of people that are not related to her, unfortunately, involuntarily, they start having their sexual experience involuntarily, they have their sexual experience when they're literally in kindergarten, right? Unfortunately, because you have all these dudes that are not related to her, all these dudes that the mom just have in and out of the house because, it's all about mama's happiness. And unfortunately, everybody suffers because of that. I hope I'm saying is Tyron Pouncey. I think that's his name. He said Joy Taylor's credibility is shot. Acho is a simp. Let's not that hoe ass nigga Emmanuel Acho. He said, and Acho was a simp. Let's not let him live too. We all seen them videos of him enjoy facts. But like I said, Joy Taylor was very specific on the men she was targeting. She was targeting the marks with clout. That's what she was doing. She was like you look at Charles Dixon and Emmanuel Acho. People were so confused, like why she slept with him? Well, because he was going to get his own show and he had clout. He was a up and coming star in the company. So they were so she was like, let me get with Emmanuel Acho, right? So that was her that's what she was doing. She was on demon time, right? Demon time. Joy Taylor's a demon. Okay, Jeremy Dorset says ESPN, CBS, and FanDuel Sports and Spectrum Sports, now California or Spectrum Sports in LA, are staying far, far away from Joy Taylor and everyone else too. I would stay. I wouldn't touch Joy Taylor with a 12-foot pole. No way. I am not, like, if I'm a sports entity, radio show, I'm not, because everybody saw the lawsuit. Now, the TV channels may have not reported on it, but they all saw that lawsuit. I wouldn't touch her. I'm not touching her. No way in hell. Jeremy, yeah, the Crowder situation. Let me see. Jeremy Dorset also says Chris Mike, she was on 790 WAXY in South Florida. Then she was on FS1 for 10 years. There's no way she's going back on radio. She has her podcast, but like I said anymore, she's not going to be on national TV. Yeah, they didn't report on it because they didn't want to make women look bad, but they're not touching her. They're not like, like, it's not just that she's a cancer, but she's she's a real life evil villain, man. She's a real life evil villain. Like that's why again I apologize to Taylor Rooks, because even though like her silence has spoken volumes in terms of her separating herself from Joy Taylor. Her silence has spoken volumes. It's not a silence of damn, I'm on the same time. That's what I thought at first, but her silence is literally like, I'm not, no, that's not me. Because there's even a, because what happens is you'll have these women that are decent bitches per se, and they'll be feminists, but they won't be doing what Joy Taylor's doing. Like they'll still see people like Joy Taylor or Dr. Cheyenne Bryant or one of these scam artists, right? And they're like, no, I'm not on that kind of time, right? Panda Man said, yeah, I'm tired of giving the hoes the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, that the girl that I showed you, even though you can kind of feel bad for her because of what happened when she was a kid, I'm still not going to date her. Anybody that dates her or marries her, you're in for a rude awakening. This is this woman right here going to ruin your life. Right? Like this is a girl full of drama, right? No disrespect. And unfortunately, I'll say, especially, you know, a lot of Latino women, you know, they be always getting caught up with mess like that, dating drug dealers, having relatives that's part of the cartel and all this nonsense. Like this is the nonsense. Because I'm pretty she's got to be Mexican. Lauren Perez, she's definitely Mexican. No doubt about it, right? But let me see. What I don't know. What I think she's from LA too. So yeah, no doubt about it. But a woman like that, she gonna ruin your life. I don't care how bad you feel for her or how many chances you get. As you know, unfortunately, that's no. Let me see. Jakendrick Williams. He said, I believe sooner or later something on her and Shady McCoy will come out because I believe they were messing around too. No, this is what I believe. Joy Taylor's evil, right? So when I say this, the dudes that she targeted at FS1 were cornballs, right? Emmanuel Acho, cornball. Charlie Dixon, cornball with power, right? Simp with power, right? Shady McCoy is what you would call on this channel, this channel, RN, right? Shady McCoy is a real ninja, right? So that's what I'm obviously I think Joy Taylor would have behind closed doors would have slept with Shady, but she knew there will be Shady can only go so far in the company. Shady could only go so far in the company. Because he's not going to take over the reins, even though Shady McCoy is a legend, an NFL legend, right? Eagles legend, one of the best running backs of all time, right? Shady McCoy is what you call a RN. He's not a buck dancing type of he's not a controllable person, right? He's so Joy Taylor, I'll say this. How about this? Somebody said it. Silent Sniper said it best. Shady knew not to touch that. So Shady knew he could tap it, but I think Shady was like, I'm not finna hit Joy. Because I'm pretty sure once Shady found out, because I believe Shady found out that Joy, Emmanuel Acho was hitting Joy, and he already knew what type of time Joy Taylor was on. You know what I mean? Oh man. This is what it is. Shout out to Garrett Grant for checking in. Man. Shout out. By the way, this was supposed to be because low-key, this live stream was supposed to be about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, but the breaking news just happened like 2 hours ago. I saw it via Jada Black's channel, and I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way. Go on my Googles. See Joy Taylor being let go. I was sitting there doing all types of dances. I was doing the electric slide, all of that. I was so happy. But yeah, I believe Shady knew there was consequences to hitting that. Shady would have behind closed doors. Maybe he did, but he probably did it once and never again, because I'm pretty sure he found out that Joy Taylor was sleeping with Acho, and then also Charlie Dixon, and he knew what type of time Joy Taylor was on. That's just my opinion on that. Jeremy Dorset says, did Joy fire everyone else on FS1 in the past? Do you mean slept with everyone else? I don't know what you mean by that question. Do you mean slept? Because Joy Taylor didn't really have power like that. She thought she did, but she didn't. He said, I wonder what her former co-host Jonathan Zoslow thinks about this, and those two were on 790. But once Joy Taylor became corporate, she changed. No. So you said once Joy Taylor became corporate, she changed. No, she's always been that type of person. She's always been that type of person. That's everything that you saw on that lawsuit. Everything. Because on my live stream, I went through the whole lawsuit. It wasn't just sleeping her way at the top. She also dismissed the hairstylist when she came forward and said, yo, your sugar daddy was touching up on me. I'm finna report him. And she told the hairstylist, suck it up. She did. She basically, what? If I'm lying, I'm dying. That's basically when the hairstylist came forward to Joy Taylor and told her what her sugar daddy was doing to her. This is what she said.
When was this stripping game, partner?
That's basically what she did. No, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that.
Facts.
Shout out to Luis Rojas. He says, any other casualties? Well, yeah, because since, let me see the 3 shows. Let me read the article, because I got to make sure I get these shows right. So Speak for Yourself is gone. That's the one that Joy Taylor was running, right? It's Speak for Yourself, and then the one that Emmanuel Acho had, the separate show that they put him on. I'm blanking on. It was the one with just the athletes, the one with Emmanuel Acho, Shady, James Jones. I hope I'm saying his name right, and the backup QB. I'm blanking on his name. Chase Daniels, right? I forgot what that show was called. Let me see. I don't know why I'm blanking on that show. Emmanuel Acho, Shady, McCoy. But like I said, Shady is a real ninja, man. That I noticed this when he was in the NFL. He's a real ninja, man. The Facility, that's what it's called. The show's called The Facility. The Facility, that's what it's called. Like Shady, he's a star, right? He could smash most of these hoes, but Joy Taylor was very, thank you guys. But like Joy Taylor, she's a demon. She knew, like, she targeted the right people. She knew she couldn't just, first of all, she knew she could only go so far by just sleeping with Shady. She could actually gotten herself fired if she slept with Shady. Believe it or not. She could have gotten herself fired if she slept with Shady, right? She slept with certain people that was gonna elevate her, right? This is very calculated, right? So yeah, Shady, McCoy, obviously, but so yeah, I'm pretty sure the Facility got let go. I could be wrong, but let's read the article again. I'm trying to skim through to see if they tell us the 3 shows that got. Yep. So it's, let me see. It's basically all the shows that Charlie Dixon put on. So which is Speak for Yourself, The Breakfast Ball, and The Facility. Yep. So Speak for Yourself, The Breakfast Ball, and the Facility. Yep. Yes. Yep. This is it right here. So it's The Facility, The Breakfast Ball, and Joy Taylor's pod. I mean, not Joy Taylor's show. Speak for yourself, right? I like the facility though with the Shady and James and Chase Daniels. But yeah, Emmanuel Acho, he's a cornball. He's a cornball. Long live the king said, bro, is Cheyenne Bryant looking like she aging 5 years every month? And I'll say this, shout out to Corey Holcomb for exposing her, for being the only person with the balls to call out her credentials. Like, but like I said, women like that usually get away with it because dudes want to sleep with her, right? Believe it or not, let me show you something with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Do I still have her picture? So Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? Well, the alleged Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? Unfortunately, she is the prototype of black women that black dudes like to sleep with, right? She's the prototype, particularly when it comes to older black women that younger black men or men of her age like to sleep with, right? This is the prototype. So they're just going to let her say what she says and, you know, do what she do so they can get the guts later on in life or later on. So when you're running into a guy like Corey Holcomb, who's just going to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God, he's going to call you out if he feels like you're being a scam artist. And no, when Corey, it's not, oh, I be seeing the same BS about Corey. He hates women. I'm like, have you seen the stuff he said about Dr. Umar Johnson, Brother Polite? Have you seen the stuff that he said about dudes in the Hollywood industry, in the industry in general? And all, and most of the times he's just telling bitches to stop lying, and they get mad at that. And they usually, they end up getting exposed for lying, right? And Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, she's a liar. That's what she is. Okay. Let me see. Jeremy Dorset says, I bet her and Skip were against Shannon Sharp. Let me think about that. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think that I don't know. I'll say this: Skip didn't like Joy Taylor. I know that. Skip had no respect for Joy Taylor. But when it comes to Shannon Sharp and Joy Taylor, I don't know. I don't think there was nothing there because something would have been said. And if there was, that would have been very stupid. But I don't think there was. I don't think there was. I know people had caught Joy Taylor and Shannon Sharp at a game, like at a baseball game together in like 2017 or 2016, whatever. But I don't think nothing serious happened between them. Let me see. He said all 3 shows are trash anyway. Facts. The only show I like at FS1 is First Things First. And that's really mainly not necessarily because of Nick Wright, but because of Kevin Wildes. And I'll say this: First Things First has brought the best out of people that I didn't even think were like talented on TV. Like I see like Greg Jennings, he goes on First Things First, and I actually see him like actually like doing good on that show. Or the what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. The Coach Mangini, he'll go on the show, and I actually see him do well on that show. But Kevin Wildes, he makes the show. That's just my opinion. I think Kevin Wildes makes the show. He's awesome on that show. Yeah, Coach Mangini. I hope I'm saying his name right. It's either Mancini or Mangini. Mancini, that's the that's the soccer coach from Italy, if I'm not mistaken. But I think his name is Mangini, if I'm not mistaken. Coach Mangini. He's awesome on the First Things First show. I think the First Things First show brings the best out of the people that decide to come on that show. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Mangini. Because Mancini, that's the soccer coach from Europe. He coaches, I think isn't he still the coach for Italy? I could be wrong, but I think he's still the coach for Italy. But I could be wrong. But anyways. Anywho. Let me see. Yeah, Breakfast Ball was the other show that got canceled. Jeremy Dorset also says, I wonder if her former co-host Jonathan Zoslow will come for it. No. Well, whatever she knew whatever was what she was doing over there was not working, right? So that's why she left. Remember, in the lawsuit, she told her husband at the time, no, look, you stay here in Florida. I'm going to move to LA for, quote unquote opportunities. This was in the lawsuit. I remember trust me, I was in full hater mode when I read that lawsuit. I remember damn near everything on that lawsuit. Remember, in that beginning, she said she told her husband at the time, stay here in Florida, and then I'm going to move to LA for a better opportunity. Right? She got her titties done and then, went to LA. Because, people don't, like Joy Taylor's titties, those are not real. Like, those are, if you look at pictures of Joy Taylor when she was younger, she didn't, like, I'm talking about in her late or mid 20s. She didn't have those titties, dog. Those are fake. Those are bought. Oh man. Anywho, let me look at this one video that I saved. Pause. Or let me look at the I don't know if I should. Do you guys want to see the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant video? Because I wanted to save that for a separate stream, but maybe we could look at it a little bit here. Maybe we can. If you guys want to see that, or do you want me to go over the other things? Do you want me to do the passport bro video with black women stalking black men in Colombia, or do you want me to do the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant one where she got exposed with Paul Pierce? I got some options here that we could. Yeah, just do you want to do that the black woman stalking the passport bros in Colombia, or do you want the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant? We got some options. Right? Also on Twitter right now. What the? Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, we got pedo Trump, and I see. I'm not even going to repeat what I saw on my top thing trending. But anyways. Garrett Grant said, I bet ESPN will hire Joy. Those ESPN would be plumb idiots if they did that. I don't think she's going to get hired again. She's going to have to do the podcast route. She's going to have to stay on that. So I'm looking at everybody said do the passport bro stalking video. Yep. So Jeremy Dorset says Garrett Grant, nobody's gonna hire Joy. Yep. Even Stephen A. Smith is staying away from Joy Taylor. Oh yeah, and also remember that woman had came out. I think Stephen A. Smith's alleged girlfriend that said Molly Qerim tried to put a fake Me Too case on Stephen A. Smith, but ESPN caught it before it got out of control. So no, ESPN is not touching Joy Taylor. Please. Hell no. But let's do the passport bro video. And I will say, look, I remember in 2022, I think December 2022, there were people, like, I started hearing reports of women, not necessarily just black women, but just women in general. They were going to these spots where a lot of the so-called passport bros were going, and they were like stalking them. And I started to hear that in 2022. I was like, nah, there's no way that's true. I was like, there's no way that's true. And then the past year and a half, you're seeing now women making videos live from the scene, snitching. Just straight up telling everybody's business. So much so that you got black women making podcasts in these spots, the Philippines, Thailand, Brazil, Colombia, making podcasts and then asking, why aren't the Black American men going for Black American women? You're just like, bro, they went to these countries to get away from to get away from y'all. No disrespect, but look, if somebody say that they don't want me, I'm not finna be tripping over that. I'm finna stay away from that. But you know, women are weird. Like women are really weird when it comes to this passport bro thing. They will talk about how these people are losers. They don't do this. They can't handle a real woman, blah, blah, blah. But then now you're following these people to these spots and you're snitching on them. You're telling all their business. Like what is wrong with these people? But anyways, let's play the video. Let's play this video of this woman here talking about her dating experience, you know, date a Black American woman's dating experience in Medellin. I hope I'm saying it right.
Black women, don't come to Medellin if you are a pick-me and or male-centered. Because I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you this. You are not the preference. They are not looking for us here. You will be disappointed and get your feelings hurt. Now, I'm not saying don't come to Medellin, period. I love Medellin. It is such a great city. If you're coming here planning on staying for a while and you're looking for love, you're looking to date around and find your person, don't do it. First, I'm going to assume that you are mostly attracted to Black men, or date Black men. And so when you come down here, especially if you're from the US, the Black men here will openly tell you, why am I going to check for y'all when I have Colombian women, specifically Black Colombian women? Now, for a male-centered woman, that is awful because a lot of them, they get their validation from the men. Some Colombian men, they also will fetishize you because they're not used to, dating Black women, specifically Black foreigners. So a lot of the times your options are being fetishized or being ignored. Of course, there's exceptions to the rules, but time and time again, I have talked to women that come down here and they can't stay here long term because they are looking for something real. And then they're absolutely disappointed when they realize, oh shoot, they can't get what they're looking for here.
Yeah, this is loser stuff. This is I'll see a lot of tweets where people say people don't say that women are losers enough, and this is one of those things I'm gonna have to agree with this. This is loser stuff. This is loser stuff. Like this is why I was like, I even said in my previous live streams and videos, I've been noticing a trend of women moving to these spots where American men have been, or the expats of men, where I'm seeing even like the biggest, fitness influencers. Oh, I'm moving to Thailand. I'm moving to Philippines. I'm like, why? Or they're bragging about moving to Colombia or vacationing in those specific spots. I'm like, usually women don't brag about vacationing or moving to these spots. They always brag about going to Belize, Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, right? Mallorca, Mallorca. Those are the spots they always brag about going to, right? Now they're just, oh, I'm going to Thailand. I'm officially moving to Thailand and the Philippines, and you're just like, what? And I started realizing, I'm like, oh, the passport bros were right. They're being stalked. Because the first thing that they say is when they go to these spots, they start talking about, oh, these mid-white dudes are having all these with these Asian girls that they're paying for. Or you got these or you got Black women talking about, oh, these Black men, they're not looking for us. So if you're male-centered, you're going to be disappointed. No, you're talking about yourself, ma'am. You decided to go to Colombia and still think American rules apply to Colombia or one of these spots, Thailand, Philippines, etc. Right? What is wrong with these people, bro? Dude, when people were talking about, oh, we getting stalked, I was like, nah, there's no way. I was like, there's absolutely no way. I refused to believe it. I was like, nah. But I did report on it. I was like, I'm getting reports. I'm getting reports, right? And I was like, nah, there's no way. Oh man. Pan the Man says, I'm glad. Let these chameleons suffer. They do not deserve good black men or men of any race, specifically American men. American women have, they just refuse to acknowledge outside of social media or just in general. They just refuse to acknowledge, yeah, American women have treated American men or the average American men like trash. You know what I mean? Jeremy Dorset said Joy Taylor has lost her celebrity status. I do agree with that to an extent. It depends. Let's see how her podcast turns out. I don't think her podcast is going to turn out really good. But let's do a replay on the video. Let's do a replay on the video. I think this is crazy work.
Black women, don't come to Medellin if you are a pick me and or male centered.
So she off rip. She goes, black women don't go to Medellin, Colombia, if you are a pick me or you're male centered. And really, that's just a projection. She's a pick me. She's male centered. She just don't want to admit it. And first of all, when women start talking about women are being pick me's and all that, let's get this straight. All women are pick me's. All women are pick me's, especially black women. I know black women talk you'll see black women talk the most and the loudest about, oh, you a pick me, you're this, bro. They literally did a whole TV segment where black women were complaining that white men were not picking them on dating apps. Or they were changing their profiles to white to see who were not picking them on the dating apps. So I don't even want to hear this pick me nonsense, specifically when it comes from black women.
Because I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you this. You are not the preference. They are not looking for us here. You will be.
Well, duh. That's why they moved. You're not the preference here. She should know that. But yeah, like I don't know. American women are weird. Like I don't know what she thought. Because low key, she's talking about herself. She's not really talking about. Because I'm pretty sure any American woman with sense should know that men are moving to these spots to get away to get away from women like them. So of course you're not going to be the preference. And then first of all, when you go to these spots, when you go into Colombia or you go into the Dominican Republic, right? They're going to be meeting women that are way prettier than American women. And are way cheaper, if you know what I mean. So you'll even have like American women, they'll talk about, oh, all you guys are just getting with prostitutes and uneducated women and prostitutes and all this stuff. I'm like, that makes it even worse. So imagine you have the average man that's been struggling with American dating. Then he goes to the DR and he's surrounded with all these beautiful women that he only has to pay like $30 or $40. And it's like he could just get out how many he wants, right? Same thing with the Philippines, but I'll say specifically with the DR. Why would he's never going to date American women again? He's never going to date American women again. You're going to the DR or these spots or these spots in Central America or South America, and you're meeting the most beautiful women in the world who are only, and what they're asking from you is barely anything compared to what the average American single mom, fat American single mom of 3 kids with 4 different baby daddies. what she's asking for and what the 9 or 8 out of 10 from Colombia is asking for is like night and day. You know what I mean? So I don't know why they're shocked about this, but it is a wake-up call from a lot of women that do travel to these spots, because they seeing the women and they're like, damn, these women are just drop dead gorgeous. right? They're really shocked about this, but we'll let it play.
Disappointed and get your feelings hurt. Now, I'm not saying don't come to Medellin, period. I love Medellin. It is such a great city. If you're coming here planning on staying for a while and you're looking for love, you're looking to date around and find your person, don't do it. First, I'm going to assume that you are mostly attracted to black men, so or date black men. And so when you come down here, especially if you're from the US, the black men here will openly tell you, why am I going to check for y'all when I have Colombian women? Typically,
Well, they probably didn't tell her that, but the black man's actions in Colombia have told him that. So I'm pretty sure black men didn't go up and tell her, well, why should I have to pick you when I got well, you see it through the actions. Black men are not checking for American black women in Colombia. They go to Colombia so they can get Colombian women. And there's, by the way, there's, like she's gonna say, there's black Colombian women. Right, and they even get so they can't even use that whole, oh, it's this colorism in it. No, there's black Colombian women too over there, and they get chose too by black American men. So this whole, colorism and all that, so they can't even use that as an excuse.
black Colombian women. Now, for a male-centered woman, that is awful because a lot of them, they get their validation from the men.
So how you notice she's trying to put it on, oh, the pygmies and the male-centered women, they're going to be uncomfortable. But since I'm not a male-centered woman, I'm still having the time of my life. But still, look at what these black men are doing. Please, you're not fooling anyone, miss. You were disappointed when you found out that American men, but specifically American black men, weren't checking for you like that. She's trying to put it on, oh, the pygmies and the male-centered women. Nah, you're talking about yourself, ma'am. She's indirectly showing the L's that she took trying to date American black men in Colombia.
Colombian men, they also will fetishize you because they're not used to, I don't know, dating black women, specifically black foreigners. So a lot of the times your options are being fetishized or being ignored. Of course, there's exceptions to the rules, but time and time again, I have talked to women that come down here and they can't stay here long term because they are looking for something real.
So she's talking about, oh, if you're a male-centered or if you're a pygmy, this is going to be a problem. But yet, you're the one doing the complaining. You're the one complaining about, oh, it's either you be fetishized or be ignored. Miss, you're doing a lot of she's indirectly saying that it's me, I'm the pick me that got my soul crushed, even though I don't know what in American women's right mind they think they can go to Colombia, or American white women, they go to Thailand or Philippines and they think that they're gonna have the same white dudes or whatever, same American dudes simp over them when you already have the women already over there that are way more cooperative, way more feminine, and way cheaper. just in general, just way cheaper. Is and you have like a way better product, and it's literally a 90% discount at a 90% discount. Literally 90% discount. So she's talking about herself. Don't get it twisted.
And then they're absolutely disappointed when they realize, oh shoot, they can't get what they're looking for here.
Anyways. But I like how she's trying to make it, oh, if you're a pygmy, you're going to have a problem coming to, ma'am. Well, she's not going to admit it, but she knows she made a mistake coming here in terms of when it comes to dating. Oh, man. Anyways. Panther Man says, I seen a short on Preference in Passions channel where a bunch of Keishas even went to like Norway or some ish, bringing their ratchet horse ish with them. Disgusting. I think I saw something like that. I don't think it was in Norway for me. I'm not saying yours isn't true. I think I saw something similar where they went to another country where they called a bunch of black women at a different country and they're trying to spread their same nonsense towards the women over there, right? I forgot which country it was, but it was a European country. But I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. But I'll say that because Norway is already a heavily like feminist ran country, anyways. But if you are a specific, I'll say this: if you are a black man, you can go to, especially if you're an American black man, you can go to any of these European countries and you can get what you want. you can get what you want. They're way more open to dating or marrying a black man. If you go to like if you go to like Poland, right, Germany, Norway, right, Sweden, right, like you could still do work in those countries, but specifically black American women, they're weirdos. Like they like to go to these spots where black men are going and then try to spread crazy rumors about us, propaganda and all this nonsense. I'm like, you're stalking these people. They're leaving you and you're following them and still saying that we are the problem. Something meant like I said, there's when it comes to a lot of black women, there's something's mentally wrong with a lot of them. I saw a video recently of, it was like a 60-year-old black woman talking nonsense about, I'm still looking for the one that God has for me. But I'm like, you're 60 years old. You're 60. And she's still on that BS. But, you know. You see, American women stay away from me, though. Yeah, the Lenny Kravitz song. Panda Man says she is all copium. Facts. Oh, let me see. Jeremy Dorset says Sid Rosenberg is not going to talk bad about Joy Taylor. Same for Jonathan Zosler. Well, nobody's going to put her on blast. But I think I forgot to finish on that point. But my point when I was bringing up Joy Taylor and her moving to Los Angeles, the reason why I brought that up is her plan was to do that in Florida, but it didn't work. So that's why she went to LA to do what she do. And LA is the perfect place to run these kind of, scam artists, this scam artistry, right? But even still then, like the Florida co-hosts, they're not gonna put her on blast because most men, they're not gonna put women on blast. Well, just in general, because they don't want to be called an incel. It seems like I can't believe this, but it seems like that's like men's biggest fear now, being called an incel. So, or a virgin, or if you say anything wrong about a woman, they're gonna say that you're a manosphere guy or whatever. But apparently that's a diss now. So they're not gonna call her out for being evil. Long Live the King said, a pick me to a lot of women is just not creating chaos around men. Facts. Those are facts. Those are like you'll have a bish. You'll have a bish be mad at a bish for cooking for her man. Straight, just cooking. Meanwhile, that same bish that is mad at the bish for cooking, she's having sex with multiple men raw. But she draws the line at cooking. It's just I'm like, bro, or like she's talking to the woman that's cooking for her man, and then she's saying, don't do wifely duties for your boyfriend. But I'm like, but you're you're sleeping with two dudes that are already in a relationship, mind you. But she mad at the Asian woman or the Latina woman for cooking for a man. I mean, your priorities are all out of whack, right? Pan the Man said, I've been hit on by a 60-year-old and I'm in my 30s. How disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. There's this. Never mind. I just never mind. Let me keep that to myself. But I'll say this. I'll hint at it. Like there might be a chance I might be working with this one woman who's like, she looks like she's in her 30s or in her 40s, but she's a Latina older woman, and she hits on me. It took me a minute. I thought she was just, just being polite and all this stuff. That's why I liked working around. But she's been hitting on me. It's clear because she saw me again after a long time, and it was like, I was like, oh yeah, she does. I was like, yeah, I might have to smash. I might, but I don't want to. But she's not, like I said, she's not a gordita. She's shaped right. But it's like, how do I ignore clear choosing signals like this? Like the ones that I got when I saw her again. And I was just, hey, but it's clear. I was just like, oh shit. I might have to hit it. But I've said no in the past, so I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. But I'll say this, it is interesting how you'll have, older women. They've been the one advising, younger women to not do this for a man and not do this and that. But then now you have older women, after saying all of this to younger women, you have those same older women now bragging about how they're going out with a younger man and all this stuff. You got the Charlie Dixons of the world bragging about having a one-night stand with a 26-year-old and stuff like this. Joy Taylor, right? Talking about, oh yeah, I could be with a 25-year-old or a 28-year-old. Oh, a 25-year-old man is a grown-ass man and all this. You're like, wow, okay. Anyway, Jeremy Dorset said, and Waxy is now a Spanish radio news station. But anyways, let's go. I wanted to show this one other video because I thought this was interesting as well. This one right here, which shows the delusion, unfortunately. But I gotta play the video. It's showing the Delulu in real time, but I gotta play this. This is the mentality, especially that a lot of black men are seeing. This is why they're leaving, right?
For any man who's complaining about their woman being too mouthy, maybe you need to rev up your masculine energy in that relationship, because the masculine brings out the feminine.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's no masculine, the woman's forced to then turn off the feminine and go into her masculine for survival.
Yes, I agree. Does a masculine man ever really tell you that they're masculine? Or does like an alpha man ever tell you that they're an
If
alpha?
a man says if he's leading with I'm masculine, he's
Yeah.
probably not masculine. Because if you're masculine, you're just
It's an essence. It's seen. It's very much felt. It's very much known. Or an alpha. Like if you hear a man say, "No, I'm an alpha,"
he's not an alpha.
Why?
Because if you're it, you don't have to say you're not rich.
Period. Think about them.
They're leading with their money. That means they have nothing else to fall back on. There is no.
I won't play the whole thing, but I just wanted to focus on that beginning part where it's just this mentality where a man has to, bring out my femininity, right? This is just the toxic nonsense that a lot of men are just, nah, we ain't finna do this no
For
more.
any man who's complaining about their woman being too mouthy, maybe you need to rev up your masculine energy in that relationship, because the
But this is first of all, this is terrible advice, right? This is terrible advice. This is how men catch, DV charges. You know what I mean? This is how men catch DV charges. This is how women send to always, because the only person that can put you in check is somebody that's borderline abusive. Right? So this is not healthy. This is not healthy. Jeremy Dorset says, Joy Taylor will never talk to a Taylor Rooks or any woman higher. Women would be very wise to keep their distance from Joy Taylor. if they know what's good for him. Say like, just do like how Taylor Rooks is doing it. Just like, look, I know, thank you, but I'll pass. I don't want to really associate myself with you, right? But let's see if I can find any other news outlets talking about Joy Taylor. Here we go. We're finally putting it up in the New York Times. So we got the Daily Beast talking about it. We got the New York Times. Let's do the New York Times. Let's do the New York Times because it's going to be the Athletic. Okay, Joy Taylor out. Joy Taylor out at Fox Sports as network cancels 3 shows, sources say. Joy Taylor is out at Fox Sports as part of a series of moves that will also see the network's cable arm FS1 cancel Speak, the show Taylor co-hosts, as well as its 2 morning programs. Sources briefed on the decisions told to The Athletic. The 3 shows struggled to find a huge audience, prompting the cancellations, according to sources briefed on the decision. And like I said, when it came to the facility, the breakfast ball, and Speak for Yourself, they were really struggling with ratings. So much so, let me show you something. Let me say something for the facility when it comes to Emmanuel Acho and the facility, right? So the facility, this channel, it doesn't really have 2 million subscribers. This is false. What they did, this is what they did. They renamed the Undisputed channel as the facility on FS1. This is what they did. So they renamed this is really the Undisputed channel. This is Skip Bayless's Undisputed channel. They renamed it, but they kept their undisputed subscribers. So they didn't delete the Undisputed channel. They just renamed it. So let me show you. So right here, Skip Bayless. If you go in the search bar, hit Skip Bayless. So these are the Undisputed clips, but it says the facility on there. That's how I found out. I'm like, oh, because I was wondering, where's the Undisputed channel? What happened to the Undisputed channel? And then I go on the facility, and I was like, okay, I don't know how they got 2 million subscribers like so fast, but whatever. Okay. Then I happened to look up an old debate from Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, and I started seeing all these videos under the facility. I was like, oh, they renamed Undisputed to the facility, but kept their subscribers and the views. Well, I'm like, what kind of nonsense is this? But like I said, that's how you. Because if the facility were to start a channel by themselves and do it the old-fashioned way, they'd have barely had any subscribers because the ratings for that show was not good at all. Same with Speak for Yourself, terrible ratings. Breakfast Ball, terrible ratings. But especially all the Charlie Dixon / Joy Taylor led, shows, right? Emmanuel Acho led shows are trash, right? So anyways, back to The Athletic. Joy Taylor, age 38, has been in headlines over the past year as FS1 has been embroiled in harassment allegations against its former top programming executive, Charlie Dixon. In one of the 2 lawsuits, Nushin Faraji, a makeup artist, accused Dixon of sexual battery, and the suit alleged that Taylor told Faraji to get over it. Taylor denied the allegation. Dixon has been out at the network since late April, so the New York Times are finally reporting on this situation. Taylor co-hosted Speak for Yourself with Keyshawn Johnson and Paul Pierce. Taylor's contract was up and not renewed by Fox Sports after she had been with the network for nearly a decade. FS1 is also ending the morning show's Breakfast Ball in the facility. Colin Cowherd's The Herd, which begins at noon, And First Things First with Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, and Kevin Wildes at 3 p.m. will continue in their time slots. Okay, FS1 will likely produce new shows in place of the cancellations. So, okay, so the Colin Cowherd and Nick and First Things First, they're still going to be there, and they're not going to change their time slots. That's good. That's good. Now, you know what's interesting? Because in the lawsuit, Nushin Faraji actually highlighted that Colin Cowherd was one of the few dudes, like he was clean, like he was very respectful, respected her space, and was not a pervert. So that actually, like, I used to be a guy that didn't really like Colin Cowherd because Colin Cowherd has horrible sports takes. But after the lawsuit, I lightened up on how I saw Colin Cowherd. Because I'm like, oh, Colin Cowherd is really a professional. He's really a professional. I like that. Oh, so Jeremy Dorsett said USA Today is also talking about it. Okay, so now they're going to put Joy Taylor on blast. Now they're going to put her on blast. They probably, you know what happened? You know, I think what they were doing? I think FS1 was making sure that Joy Taylor didn't have any more, like they had to make sure no men in Fox Sports were compromised by Joy Taylor. Because in the lawsuit, Joy Taylor said, if Charlie Dixon steps out of line, I'm just going to put a Me Too case on him. So even though Joy Taylor, like, say if they just had fired Joy Taylor, right? But she put even if she's bogus, if you put a Me Too case on, you get a Me Too case put on you, is gonna destroy you, even though everybody knows it's false. So they were trying to make sure that Joy Taylor didn't have no other men compromised in Fox Sports, to make sure that she didn't have no leverage on any of the other men. So this is why they had to make sure, even though Emmanuel Acho was their rising star, they had to let go of Emmanuel Acho. Because I think they didn't really want to let go of Emmanuel Acho per se, but they had to, due to the ratings, obviously, but also him being connected to the lawsuit, even though he didn't do anything wrong, but because he was compromised by Joy Taylor because they had a relationship. Jeremy Dorsett said those shows couldn't compete with Good Morning America, First Take, the Today Show, and Morning Joe. He said Morning Joe is higher. Oh man. So Jeremy Dorsett said Christine Leahy is professional. I don't really like her as well, because did you see remember the video she did with Colin Cowherd and remember the one she did with LeVar Ball? That always rubbed me the wrong way when she tried to make it seem like LeVar Ball was targeting her. Like that always left a dirty taste in my mouth. No homo. But it's just like, when I saw that video with her and LeVar Ball, that rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm a bit reserved when it comes to Christine Leahy. I don't really know what to think about her. I don't really trust her at all. First of all, every female sports journalist should be on watch, especially since when the lawsuit dropped, no women. Remember this, guys. Remember this. This is what I want you guys to remember. When the hairstylist, when she dropped the lawsuit, did you notice that no woman came publicly to her defense? Did you guys notice this? No women came to the hairstylist's defense. This was very, I was like, because I remember reading the lawsuit live to the supporters of this channel, And I was like, this is the first lawsuit dropped by a woman where I believe her. And I noticed, I'm like, there's no women coming to her defense. And I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, none? Now, usually if if no women are coming to your defense, that means you're either very bogus or or what what's in the lawsuit, they're doing the same thing as well. So when I noticed that none of the women came to her defense, yet you had all these people that used to be part of FS1, which was mostly men, that confirmed her story. It was men that confirmed that Nushin Faraji was in line. Jason Whitlock, Marcellus Wiley, and many other men that were part of FS1. It was men that confirmed the validity of her story, and there was not one woman that came to her defense, or any other woman that was at FS1. They didn't want to come forward. That told me everything I needed to know. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, I see. This is true. This is true. I was like, I took note of this. I didn't see none of these feminists damning Charlie Dixon. I didn't. Yeah, what? I didn't see no feminists talking about this story. It was men talking about this story. What? Nobody. I'm like, not one woman came forward to the defense of another woman. I was like, wow, okay. That was an eye opener. I was like, yeah, okay. Because it was men that it was due to men, other men confirming her story. This is very interesting. And these would be the same women. Men need to hold other men accountable when men are being ready. All right. But when it's a woman holding another woman accountable, because it wasn't just her calling out Charlie Dixon, it was her calling out Joy Taylor in the lawsuit. It wasn't her just with Charlie Dixon and Skip Bayless. They tried to make Skip Bayless the headline, and the journalists did that on purpose, mind you. So when it came to that, but whatever. But because Joy Taylor was part of the lawsuit, where she accused Joy Taylor not only of sexism, but racism and discrimination just in general, right? This was interesting. That was an eye opener. That was an eye opener, man. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay. Nice. That's good to know. That's good to know. I didn't see no feminists up in arms. You would have thought ESPN would have jumped on the story because it's their rival. I was like, but I'm like, ever since then, I'm like, yep, every female journalist, they're suspect because they're probably doing the same thing that Joy Taylor was doing. So I found it weird that no women were coming forward in defense. Because usually when stuff like this, women be piling on and be like, oh yeah, Charlie Dixon did this. And usually when a Me Too case come up, then you'll have another woman come out, then another woman come out. I'm seeing no other hoes come out. That I'm like, that's weird. Because even if it's fake, other women will come out and try to support the woman. Faraji, the hairstyle, she got like zero support from women, really. If you look at the public in general, I think she got like zero support. She got like zero support from the women. That was very interesting, man. I was like, wow, okay. I was like, wow. Hey, man. I don't want to hear hoes talking about, oh, men don't do this or we're not allies. If it wasn't for the men confirming Faraji's story, confirming that Joy Taylor was like that, Skip Bayless was like that, oh, it was an open secret with her and Emmanuel Acho or Charlie Dixon, etc. If it wasn't for Jason Whitlock, Marcellus Wiley confirming this kind of stuff, it shows you everything you need to know. So every female journalist is suspect. I don't care who you are. You're suspect. You're suspect. Nobody said, I didn't see no hashtag believe all women. I didn't see no hashtag believe all women. None of that. Wow. Wow. No believe all women. Not with this one. Okay. Because the story will be bogus and hoes will still jump on the bandwagon. It was interesting to me. So Jeremy Dorset said Christine Leahy was professional to Colin Cowherd. Well, I'm pretty sure the reason why she was professional is because Colin Cowherd, despite his bad sports take, despite his character flaws in general, he's actually a decent dude. He's obviously not perfect, but he's not a perv. He's a person that he's not gonna let a broad ruin his bag. He's one of those people that really puts the paper first. He puts the company first. He puts the potential earnings first over broads. Said Pam over. Yeah, he said no one came forward. No one came forward. Let that sink in. No, she had like no female support. I'm not like at all. Should tell you everything you need to know. Okay, all three shows were created under Dixon, which is The Breakfast Ball, Speak for Yourself, and The Facility. Okay. Yep. So let's read the comments to this story. Let's read the comments to the story because it's really a lesson to. It's really something that we should like. I'm not gonna get over this. Where because the Twitter people, they read the lawsuit and they highlighted that part where Joy Taylor told Faraji if she was going to get fired, she was going to put a Me Too claim on him. Just outright saying it. And nobody wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to talk about how when the hairstylist came to Joy Taylor, said Charlie Dixon was touching on me, he was doing this. She basically told him, get over it. Wow. But anyways, Auntie N, he says, karma. It's crazy how it came out that she slept her way to TV and told a colleague she'd claim grape. If caught, nothing ever came of it. Like the media just collectively ignored it. Should do I have that same video? Because Cam Newton was the only person that hinted at it. Because I'm not making this stuff up. I'm telling you, this is Stephen A. Smith pussied out with that. I was laughing my ass off when I saw that. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. Cam Newton brings up lawsuits. Yep, if I can find that. Oh man, I don't they because I remember I did save it on my Twitter bookmarks. I think I saved it on my Twitter bookmarks, but yeah, I don't think you're gonna find it. You're not gonna find it just searching it on YouTube. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find it just off rip like that. Let me see. First take. Let me search up Stephen A. Smith or first take on my bookmarks. See if it pops up. First take. Cam Newton. Come on, something's gonna pop up. Yep, right here. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yeah. So right here, got the caption. Cam Newton compares Mark Andrews avoiding the media to the Fox Sports misconduct lawsuit. Cam Newton goes on to say, why make a fuss about Andrews if you're not keeping the same energy about Fox's report and lack of public accountability? Now, what's interesting is Cam Newton ended up being the person that defended Joy Taylor for, simping reasons, because Cam Newton is a simp. But I found it interesting. He was the only person that came close to bringing up the lawsuit in public, and everybody acted like he didn't. They didn't know what Cam was talking about. Oh man, I'm gonna show you. Let me show you. This is hilarious, man. This is hilarious.
I'm going to go with the unpopular pick, but I want everybody to keep this same energy in other commodities, in politics, in entertainment, in sports, no matter what it is. And we haven't been holding people to the same fire. So Mark Andrews, it's okay, bro. You ain't got to talk to nobody, because in other networks, there's lawsuits that's been out. We ain't heard nobody say nothing about that. Now, we got other things that's coming up. When there's a Fox report that comes out and we haven't heard anybody speak about anything or make any type of public announcement, nobody has held Fox to that same thing. So why are we talking about making a big fuss about Mark Andrews if you're not going to keep that same energy across the board? That's what I'm saying.
He's saying in all different.
Stephen A. Smith acting confused. He said, "What are you talking about? What are you speaking of?" All of a sudden, this ninja can speak perfect, fluent, English from like the colonial times. Like, what is doth? What is doth that you speak of? This lawsuit that has proceeded thee. All of a sudden, this ninja speaking in cursive. This is crazy work.
Different industries,
No,
people don't have to.
I just didn't understand what he was saying. That's all I didn't know.
He's just saying in all different industries, people don't have to be held accountable and go in front of a mic right away. So
and listen, I feel like Mark's going to talk.
You see, he said, "I don't know what I don't know what he's speaking of. I don't know what you're talking about, nigga." Wow. That's all I can say. Just wow. Because he knows. Look, Stephen A. Smith, you know. Stop. You knew exactly what the hell was going on. But you were told by the powers that may be, or your bosses, Stephen A. Smith, the only dude that be bragging about his boss, right? But people told you not to talk about that. You guys were told not to talk about that. Facts. Facts. Hold on. Jeremy Dorset he says, I bet a lot of women are against Joy Taylor right now. Well, now, because now okay, this is what's going to happen. This is what I'm going to tell. Now they're going to throw Joy Taylor under the bus. They're trying to see they were trying to see what time would it be safe to completely throw Joy Taylor under the bus. So now what you're going to see over the next couple of weeks, now they're going to start talking about it. Some people are going to be brave enough to start talking about it. Maybe not on TV, but you're going to start seeing some A-list names. They're going to start talking about what was in that lawsuit. Because now they're trying to see if it's safe enough to throw Joy Taylor under the bus. Because remember what Joy Taylor said? She said, I'm going to throw a Me Too on anybody that try to do me dirty. Anybody that try to fire me. So they were trying to make sure that the coast is clear. So now the coast is clear. We think to make sure that Joy Taylor doesn't have any moves up her sleeve to where she makes herself look like the victim, or where she can get where she's putting a lawsuit on Fox, right? They're just trying to make sure the coast is clear so Joy Taylor don't put a lawsuit. And let's keep it a buck. Joy Taylor dropping a lawsuit on FS1 for firing her, it's not off the table. Believe it or not, it's not off the table. So I've seen stranger things, but this is how this game works. Jeremy Dorsett said Jason Taylor's probably gonna have to lay low for a while. Facts. But yeah, this video is hilarious with Stephen A. Smith. All of a sudden, this they're just speaking proper English. I don't know what is this Fox Sports lawsuit that you speak of. I hate niggas like that, bro. Come on, you know exactly what we talking about. I would have respected Stephen A. Smith more and say like, yo, we not allowed to talk about that. This is a pending lawsuit. I would have respected him more if he said that. But this whole, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, yo, man, this is the type of stuff that make me want to slap people, right? You know, it reminds me of like, you know, like when you're talking about, you'll be talking about women, right? And you'll talk about the things that toxic women do, or you've seen the things that toxic women have done. And people will, and they'll just dismiss you, and they'll be like, where are you meeting these women? I've never seen women act like this. And you're just looking at them like, particularly when women are defending women, you just like, stop. Knowing good, and because she know good and damn well at her job, she's at war with a woman doing exactly what I'm saying. I'm talking about in full nuclear war at her cubicle with 5 other bitches, women. Sorry, about what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. At war with them, and then they will turn around and see a man say, "Well, yeah, women be doing this," and act like. But I don't have patience for that. I have no patience for that. I got no patience for that. But anyways, let's see. Oh, guys, also I've seen some of this is one of the funniest videos I've seen in 2025. I got to show you this clip. This is one of the funniest videos I've seen in 2025. Let me can I do a full? Oh shoot. I am so happy I did not press share. Oh shoot. It showed like the Instagram profiles of like my closest, like not necessarily friends, but the people that I work with. Olay. Okay, let me do this again. Let me show you a clip. I'm gonna clip this. I'm definitely gonna clip this. Oh man. This is one of the funniest clips I've seen. Shout out to this fellow right here. This he's gonna say this is gonna be one of the funniest clips you see. Hopefully, did I get the time right? Here we go, right here. Right here. This is hilarious. Every person that I've shown this clip, they've laughed at it.
Thank you very much. Don Elijah, CDG Swag Nation.
GDG Swag Nation.
What's GDG?
Ghana Dope Gang.
Hey. Ghana Dope Gang Swag Nation.
But I didn't give you a compliment. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
I wish.
Thanks very much for coming on the show.
Welcome.
It's been a pleasure.
Yo, that is one of the funniest videos I've seen in 2025, man. No doubt about it. No doubt. That is one of the funniest videos I've seen in 2025. He goes, I wish. He just stops talking. This ninja was about to say some reckless stuff on live TV. Man, I'll say this, West Africans are different, really Africans in general. They're a different breed when they're on TV. But West Africans, when you talking about the Ghanaians, the Nigerians, they're an interesting breed of people, to say the least. This dude was about to say some ish like, I wish I met you before I met. He was about to say some ish like, I wish I met you before my wife. He just completely stops himself. He goes, he said, "You're very beautiful, by the way. I wish," and he just stops talking. Oh my God, this is crazy, man. I gotta replay that part. This is crazy.
Ghana Dope Gang Swag Nation.
But I didn't give you a
Abodam.
compliment. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
I wish.
Thanks very much for coming on the show.
Welcome.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh shoot. Oh man. Stop it. Anywho. Pyro said he's late. Damn, you basically missed the whole show, bro. Again. Nah, I'm playing. But yeah, basically. Let me see. Jeremy Dorset says, going back to South Florida, Joy is friends with most, if not all, of the local TV people in South Florida, yet no one came to her defense. That's interesting stuff. I didn't really know that about her, but I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. Or if like something comes out like, oh, I'm moving, I'm on my spiritual journey, and my spiritual journey has led me back to South Florida. You know how hoes be. You know, they always on some spirit walk, some spirit journey after they've been ran through or they got caught doing a crime or something. They're always on some spirit journey, some like they the Avatar or some, you know. But yeah, that's one of the best clips I've seen in 2025 right here. Easily. Let's see if I got an Instagram, or let me see if they got, see if anything else in the comment section. Okay, nothing else in the comment section. Let's go to see. Let's do a look how they're trying to reframe look how Google is trying to reframe this. Joy Taylor exits Fox Sports after 3 shows canceled. Do you mean let go? Not Joy Taylor exits like it was her choice. No, Joy Taylor got let go by Fox Sports. You see how they're trying to, I see what they're trying to do there. Yep, so you were right. Joy Taylor on USA Today. Hold on, I got to disable my ad blocker. My bad. I gotta disable my ad blocker for this. I'll be back. Let me disable my ad before I open up USA Today, because they're gonna give me a hard time with this. Pause on this site. Perfect. Okay, now we can share. We can share now. Okay, exit out of this YouTube tab. I got to start doing more live streams on Microsoft Edge, not Google Chrome. Because Jesus, man. Anyways, let's take the overlay off. Okay, let's see how USA Today reframes it. Joy Taylor's out of Fox Sports. So yeah, they're trying to let, yeah, they, you know, her contract was up in the summer. So they thought this was the perfect time to let her go. And then they probably had to make sure that there was no other dudes. There was no other dudes that were compromised. Oh, they're not showing the comments. I don't know if does USA Today have comments? I don't know, but anyway. Let me see. They don't got no comments. Let's see what her what she got on her social media so far. Okay, well, that's her podcast. I'll say this. I'll a couple sets before the beach. Somebody say, damn, you got canned finally. Should have been more humble. Facts. I'll say, somebody said this is the OnlyFans soft launch. This is hilarious. Yo, it's all dudes in the comment section celebrating that she got let go by Fox Sports. This is hilarious. Somebody said this is the OnlyFans soft launch. They're sick. They're sick. But I'll say this. I have to I have to look at her interview with Kev on stage. I'll have to take. I'll look at that one. That one might be an interesting watch. That'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting watch. But yeah, it looks like her next next career path, OnlyFans soft launch. Her true calling, OnlyFans. Exits. Yeah, talking about she has exited Fox Sports. Please. Please, man. They capping on that. They capping. Straight capping. Let me see more news I want to see. Let's see what Twitter is saying about Joy Taylor in general, because they have her she's trending. What number? Okay, she's 14 in trending. She's number 14 in trending right now. So before I let you share, let me make sure there's no adult content that pops up. Yeah, it's like a lot of people are celebrating, it looks like. Yo, this is wild. This tweet is wild. Watch this. Somebody said, I can get Joy Taylor a job, and they're showing Nate from Set It Off. That's wild. But that's how, like, you know, like we've been conditioned to look at Nate from Set It Off as the bad guy. He's not. It's just he had an opportunity. And anyways. I remember Corey Holcomb had said that joke. He said, I'm Nate from Set It Off. This is what I am. Anyway, man. But yeah, if you are a male executive and you even think about hiring Joy Taylor, you got to be the stupidest man on earth. So right here, Hamza, whoever Hamza is, he says, I feel terribly sorry for the women that are currently employed in the sports industry. Joy Taylor fed heavily into the negative stereotypes women get for working in sports, and now is beyond reparable or beyond repairable, that it has set women back massively because the masses will point to this. And yeah, like Joy Taylor, yeah. Like I said, I say every female journalist is suspect because I saw no woman coming to Faraji's defense. That told me everything I needed to know. It says Joy Taylor at Jason Well. Okay, they're stupid as hell. Oh, okay. I thought I was beat for a second. But this is probably gonna get me banned anyways. Anyways, yeah, I gotta watch how I scroll on Twitter. All right, so yeah, that's why I think too. God, okay, right here. Somebody said Joy Taylor knew that was coming, probably why she was doing all these podcasts. I also agree with that too, but that's probably also why she was just on, like, her attitude was on some FU type ish, where I'm talking about no humility, no sense of, humility. On her being sorry, right? None of that. She's just stood 10 toes down and just she stayed 10 toes down in her toxicity. I don't know whether to be scared or respected. I don't know whether to be disgusted or scared. But anywho, see any more news sites, are they covering this? Sports Illustrated, so everybody. So yeah, it looks like they're going to start throwing her under the bus. They're really going to start putting the details of the lawsuit out there. It looks like now they're going to really, where the normies are going to be they're going to be more privy to the information. Yep. I mean, even the Hindus Times are covering this. Okay, yeah, they're gonna throw her under the bus. They're okay. It looks like it's been confirmed. Okay, we could throw her under the bus without worrying about a lawsuit. Yeah. Long live the king. Said, no emotional intelligence. Pyro said they need to filter the X-rated content. Just a click of the button when you want to do YouTube. Hey, that's an invention that maybe you can do. Maybe that's an invention that you could do, Pyro. So don't let nobody steal that from you. But anyways, let's see if we got an Instagram story or Twitter story that we could. Okay, I see Pat McAfee's trending. Let me see. Pat McAfee is trending. Oh, I think the home run derby is happening as we speak. Are they showing it? What channel are they showing the home run derby on? Home run derby 25. Let me see. Say they said it's held today on the 14th. Oh, I forgot to watch the Chicago White Sox game. Apparently, Corey Holcomb threw the first pitch at the Chicago White Sox game on Wednesday, last week on Wednesday. I was supposed to watch that. Oh, man. So let me see. It's around 8 p.m. Home Run Derby on ESPN. So that means they're going to show it on ESPN Live, I'm assuming. James Wood, Brent Rooker, Junior Caminero, O'Neal Cruz, Byron. I don't know what his last name is. Jazz from the Yankees, Cal Raleigh, and Matt Olson from the Braves. Do they have isn't Cal Raleigh? That's the guy that has like 30 something homers, if I'm not mistaken, right? See, Cal Raleigh, isn't that? Because I've been for the past couple years, I've been trying to get back into baseball again, like I was when I was a kid. Yep, the catcher from the Mariners that he has like 30. Yeah, he has 38 homers, 82 RBIs, 90 hits, 259 batting average so far. Wild work. Wild work. So let's see the home run derby highlights so far. So apparently that's the order. Our first batter, National Slugger James Wood. Pause. Okay. So he's the first person up. All right, I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch the home run derby. I'll watch it. On ESPN Live. Because I got ESPN Plus on my phone. Because I definitely want to see Cal rally. I definitely want to see Jazz. No homo. Let me see. ESPN Plus. I just want to see if I can watch it live. Yep, I can. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, to sum up Joy Taylor, it looks like now the normies are actually going to see the lawsuit. People are actually going to be privy to what Joy Taylor did at FS1. Seems like, they're going to be privy. So, yeah, Garrett Grant says, as a Yankees fan, to be honest, I'll be shocked if Jazz wins this home run derby. Yep. So Jeremy Dorsett says there will be more stuff coming out in the coming day from FS1. I think now it's a green light. It's a green light. I think now they don't necessarily have to worry about a lawsuit. I think Joy Taylor's reputation, like you said, is in the shitter. But I'm still wary because hoes like this will still drop a lawsuit. You know, like you guys know this, right? Like a hoe like this will still drop a lawsuit. Like Fox Sports, they still can be liable for a lawsuit. So this is why they had to be careful. This is why they had to be careful. Here we go. Let me press play. Let's press play. It says sign in with TV provider. Oh, God damn it. Wait a minute. Let me see what providers they mean. Okay, YouTube TV. Crap. I thought they were just going to show it. Nah, I don't have because I don't have YouTube TV anymore. Damn. I'm gonna ask one of my siblings if they got if they got the hookup. But anyways, Jeremy Dorsett says in the coming days. Yeah, we're gonna see more. We're definitely gonna see more in the coming days, though. It's gonna be a green light. And since it's FS1 and since FS1's kind of tanking, they'll be like, they're just gonna let things play out because it might be good ratings wise anyways. So they're just even though it's gonna be negative publicity, that might be the most ratings they'll get. So they're just gonna let it all fly. They're just gonna let it all out. A fire, maybe this is what you call one of these fire sale type situations, one of these fire sale type situations. Okay, but let me make sure I'm not missing any trending news. In the meantime, before I sign off, I'm not gonna just leave like that. I ain't finna do that. Okay, check that. Shade Room. I just checked the Negro News Report with the Shade Rooms. The Shade Room, right? Okay, nothing there. Oh, everybody's been talking about, what was it, Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion? They're quote unquote together. I'll just say this with Klay Thompson. I know Klay Thompson, really, he's not really going out with her per se. He's just hitting it and quitting it. But truth be told, Klay Thompson, that's like, Klay Thompson, he's just trying to hit it and quit it. But truth be told, that's not. He's risking a lot. He's risking a lot. I probably might do a story on this. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I might do a story on this. Lamine Yamal faces legal action for hiring people with dwarfism as entertainment for his birthday party. I might do that one. You never know. I might do that one. We shall see. We shall see. Yeah, people were turning off Joy Taylor for a while. I do agree with that. But yeah, we shall see in the coming days. In the coming days, no homo. Where is, let me remove this. The bottom line, like I said, man, you see how for the past couple of months, the past few months, it's been unpopular to, like, you know, put Joy Taylor on blast. Now the green light is on. So now it's going to be a free for all for the next couple of weeks. And we shall see if she'll, because, you know, when women are cornered like that, they'll just drop a lawsuit. But the thing with Joy Taylor's case, because she already said, I will drop a Me Too lawsuit if I don't get my way. So, you know, you never know. So with her, she probably might not be able to pull that card, because in the lawsuit, she literally said, that's what I'm going to do if I get fired. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, it's about to be 8:30. I'm gonna watch this home run derby. I'm texting my people to see who got who can share a password. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Somebody just, oh Lord, have mercy. Okay, hopefully I just saw some interesting stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, also Jeremy Dorset, thank you for updating us. Thank you for being an active participant. I very hope to see you soon, especially if I do talk about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, but especially if I do mention Joy Taylor. And I'll say this, I'll definitely remember if something pops up, if Joy Taylor for some reason has to move to South Florida for whatever reason, or if she tries to reach out to South Florida, I will remember that you put me onto game on that. I'm gonna do more, because you already gave me the research for it, but I'm gonna just double check, make sure I'm not missing nothing. But thank you for putting that in there. Garrett Grant, anybody Warband members, shout out to you guys. These next couple weeks are gonna be rough. I'm not gonna lie. In terms of just videos, I might have, it's gonna be very few videos, but I definitely will do more live streams. But don't be surprised if you see me doing a live stream and it's like gonna be in the middle of my set. It's gonna be like one of those, remember those live streams I was doing last year when I was on tour? That might happen in the next couple weeks. You literally might see me in like Atlanta or something. It's just not snitching on myself, but you might see me at one of these random cities doing a live stream like I did last year. So shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning into this live stream. I had to cut this short. I'm gonna see the home run derby. What will I finish this live stream with? Oh, I already know what I'm finna do. This is easy. I know what I'm gonna do. I already know what I'm gonna do, man. I'm going to put Haha Davis as the outro, and then Julia Fox. So shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's see if I can click that one. Shout out to you guys. Take care.
Would you say you hate men?
I hate the patriarchy. There's a lot of really good men.
Judd?
Answer the question.
Do I hate men? No.
That's a lie.